This is Life Perspectives with NK, and I'd like to especially welcome you to today's edition, where I walk you through understanding my core values, the compass that shaped my brand. So today's episode is a little different, as you have heard. It's personal, it's honest, and it's the story of how I discovered the core values that built the woman and the brand you now see. Still in the series, Building a Personal Brand. Hashtag foundation to building a strong personality. So, if you have ever struggled with clarity, direction, identity, or knowing what you truly stand for, pull your seats closer because you're about to hear the parts of my journey most people don't know. So this is where my values first whispered. If you asked me years ago what my values were, I probably would have said something generic, like hard work or kindness. But truthfully, I didn't really know them. My journey to understanding my core values didn't begin in a conference room or in a branding workshop. It began in my childhood with small moments that didn't feel like lessons at the time. I remember one moment clearly, the day I chose truth over approval. I remember the day I first learned that truth will always cost you something, sometimes even the approval of people you love the most. I was much younger, at an age where your entire world revolves around wanting your parents to be proud of you. In our home, respect and obedience were not suggestions, they were instructions. And like many first or second or third daughters, I grew up mastering the art of reading the room, keeping the peace, and avoiding anything that might disappoint my parents. But one afternoon changed everything. There was a school project we had to submit, a simple group work. But one of my classmates, someone I admired so much and desperately wanted to belong to her circle, suggested we borrow a few paragraphs from a senior's assignment. Everybody does it, she whispered. They won't even notice. Let's avoid all the stress. I knew it wasn't right. My heart did not agree, but the desire to belong, that sweet, dangerous desire, made me keep quiet. Fast forward, the teacher found out. We were all invited to the office. And guess what? Every single person pointed to me as the one who copied the work because I was the only one the teacher trusted to be responsible. I felt my stomach drop. When I got home, my parents were already informed. My mother looked at me with that quiet disappointment that hurts more than shouting. My father was stern, asking me to explain myself. And in that moment, two versions of me were fighting in my chest. The child who wanted her parents to keep seeing her as the good one versus the young woman who knew the truth and needed to speak it. I was afraid that telling the truth would make things worse. I was afraid they would say I was lying. I was afraid they would think I had joined bad company. But I opened my mouth anyway and said the words that shook the room. I didn't copy it, but I also didn't speak up when they said we should. I kept quiet because I wanted them to like me. My father leaned back. In absolute silence, my mother just blinked. And for the first time, I saw something in their eyes I didn't expect. Not anger, not shame, but respect. Because I didn't just confess, I told the truth about why. My father exhaled slowly and said, better to stand alone in truth than stand in a crowd with lies. Approval will come and go, but integrity stays with you forever. My mother added, next time, speak early. Silence is also a decision. That day taught me a lesson I still carry into my brand, my relationships, my leadership, and even this podcast. Honesty may cost you belonging, but dishonesty will cost you yourself. Approval is sweet, but truth is freedom. You don't need to be accepted by everyone when you can be at peace with yourself. I walked out of that room trembling, but lighter, clearer, stronger. And since then, whenever I am tempted to twist the truth just to be accepted or hide a mistake just to look good, I remind myself of that little girl who finally found her voice. Because approval is borrowed, but integrity, it is owned. Maybe your memory sounds like mine, a younger version of me standing in a situation where I had to choose between being accepted and being true. That was the first whisper of what would eventually become one of my life's core values: integrity. Now, this is when my values became loud. Fast forward to adulthood. This is where the real wrestling began. There came a time in my journey, especially around leadership, ministry, or my career, when I realized something. I was busy, productive, achieving, but not fully aligned. I was saying yes to things that didn't feel right, helping people in ways that drained me, choosing opportunities that didn't reflect who I truly was. And then it hit me. I was building a life that looked good, but didn't feel good. The Gen Zs will put this perfectly. The vibe was off. So that offness was my spirit telling me you're moving without your compass. And so this is the awakening, defining my core values. I had to stop and ask myself, who am I really? What do I stand for, even when it's not convenient? So I did the work, the quiet, honest work. I journaled. I reflected. I replayed key moments of my life. I asked myself why certain things annoyed me deeply, why some things made me come alive, and slowly, beautifully, my real values emerged. So here are my core values as my brand began taking shape. Number one, integrity, because I cannot pretend, perform, or live a double life. Who I am online must be who I am offline. Two, excellence, not perfection, but intentionality. If my name will be on it, it must carry my footprints of quality. Number three, service. I am at my best when I am helping, teaching, guiding, or lifting others. Four, faith, my deep anchor, my why, my source. Five, growth. I cannot be static. Life must stretch me, challenge me, refine me. These values didn't come from a branding book. They came from life, from mistakes, from breakthroughs, from sessions where I had nothing but God and clarity. Let me touch on how these values became my brand. Once I discovered my core values, everything changed. My decisions became clearer. My boundaries became healthier. My voice became stronger. My purpose became sharper. And suddenly, people started describing me with words I didn't tell them. You are consistent. You are thoughtful. You are principled. You are intentional. You are inspiring. Why? Because your brand is simply the reflection of your values lived daily. When people meet NK today, what they are experiencing is not a performance. It is simply my values showing up in my work, my voice, my leadership, and my presence. Here is my message to you. Why am I sharing the story today? Because I want you to understand this. Your core values are the compass of your life. They shape your decisions. They build your reputation. They define your relationships. They guide your purpose. And ultimately, they create your personal brand. You can't fake your way into a strong brand. You build it from the inside out. Your values are your foundation. Let us see a reflection challenge you can do this week. Take some time within the week and ask yourself, what moments in my life shaped what I now believe? What behaviors do I admire? And which ones disturb me deeply? What are the non-negotiables I want my name to stand for? If someone described me in 3 words, what do I pray they would say? Am I living according to the values I claim, or do I need to realign? Write your answers. Be honest. Your clarity will begin there. Thank you so very much for allowing me to share my story today on Life Perspectives with NK. I hope it inspires you to uncover the compass of your life. Because once you know your core values, your brand becomes unshakable, your purpose becomes clearer, and your confidence becomes unstoppable. If this episode touched you, please share it with someone who also needs direction in their journey. And remember to like, share, comment, and ask questions. Until next time, stay true, stay grounded, stay becoming, and richly blessed.